we just wrapped up our Turn Gentlemen cover shoot with the men, some of the men, of Grand Crew, and we're super excited about it. My name is Eric K. Thomas. I'm the editor-in-chief of the Quintessential Gentlemen, and go ahead, let everybody know who you are.
I'm Echo Kellum. I play Noah on Grand Crew, and I like to write and direct and act and sing.
All the things.
Long walks on the beach.
Long walks on the
Long
beach.
walks. I like a short walk on the beach, actually.
Oh, really?
Just
Okay.
very quick.
You can tell like that's California, long walks on the beach. We say long walks in the park, New Yorkers, East Side, but it's okay.
My name is Aaron Jennings, and I play Anthony Holmes on Grand Crew. And I also like to write and direct short walks on the beach.
But, and Carl, we'll start with you. Like to write and direct, and then say the other stuff.
Yeah. I like to write, direct. I don't like to do any of that stuff. That's schoolwork. My name is Carl Tart. I'm the co-editor-in-chief of Quintessential Gentlemen. I put this out. I basically do this. I design the hoodies. I pay his phone bill.
Yeah.
He does
So
all
you can
those
ask the
things.
questions and things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Can you pay us for this shoot?
Yeah. I'll
Okay.
be getting you checks to you. Pandemic slowed us down.
Invoices go over to Carl.
Yeah.
Listen, make sure y'all know invoices straight right here. All the crew, cast and crew right here.
Co-editor.
All right. So one thing I love about Grand Crew is the different personalities, and you're really able to see the various kind of examples of black men, black people. But I want to know, with all of the different personalities and interests, what is that connection that keeps that bond so strong within you all's friendship?
I think a big part of it is that the show really comes from a true place in our lives. Like, it's kind of based off our lives, and we honestly all just really love working with each other. We love hanging out. We've taken trips with each other. And I think there's also like a mutual appreciation of everyone's talent and artistry on the set. Everyone's really professional and dope. It's so easygoing. It just really makes it easy to tap in and just...
No one's like competitive either, right? Like, which I think is a big thing. Like you said, I think we all admire the individuality that we all bring to each character and just in life. And there's a real honor and respect for it.
He says he's not competitive, but don't never tell him how much you spent on somebody's gift. You're gonna spend $20 more. I bought everybody a bottle of wine. Yeah, I just came with some cigars and wine and flowers. And I'm like, man, how you making us look like
Trip to a vineyard.
Yeah.
So it's so interesting. I just in recent years became vulnerable in like my friend group, like my black men friend group, right? And it was new for me. It wasn't something that I was kind of. It wasn't automatic. I was very intentional about it, and I kind of see that represented in the show. Can y'all talk a little bit about why it's important for vulnerability to be within friendships?
I think it's important because your friends are going to be, especially the closest ones to you, going to be the most honest with you.
Yeah.
So you can talk to them. I can talk to my closest friends and say like, "Yo, man, what do you think about this?" Or, "Am I tripping? Am I wrong? Am I doing that?" And if they got your back, they're gonna tell you. And you should be able to identify that amongst your friend groups. Like, who can I talk to about this? Who can I tell about this? Who can I say this to? And if you got a good group of people around you, it's usually everybody, And I think as soon as one person opens up, that kind of opens the floodgates for everybody to be like, man, yeah, I've been feeling that too, or I do this, or I do that. Like, it ain't never really been a problem with me and my friends, I don't think. The ones that I can talk to about that. Right. Everybody ain't that, you know what I'm saying? You go to your friend's house who all he do is play 2K and smoke all day, and you're like, hey man, I'm feeling this way. He's gonna be like, man, shut up, man.
Get on these I was just focused on the game.
Yeah.
But I think you touched on it. I think you give one of the things you touched on that I really like is like it gives permission if you're vulnerable in your relationship, it gives permission for the other person to be vulnerable. And I think we're all going through a lot. We all have similar concerns or worries or insecurities, and so it's always nice to just put that on the table and lay it on the line.
And be the friend that you want to be. One that you want to receive. For sure.
There's also this kind of like systemic viewpoint that we view black men under, it feels like, where they all are either tough or angry or things like that. So I love the show really leans into the vulnerability of that because there was many nuanced takes on what it means to be a black man. And then there's also like this kind of stigmatism of like being vulnerable or emotional is a form of weakness where it's actually a form of strength. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're not vulnerable with your friends, you're gonna be vulnerable when you look in the mirror. You know, you can't hide that from yourself. So having a group of men that like will have you back and like lean into that vulnerability with you, I think is super important. And the fact we get to show that hopefully gives other people permission to be vulnerable with their friends too.
No, it definitely does. And I think, you know, another piece of it too is I love how you guys always kind of like either begin or like end at the wine bar, where it's like your common ground. I want to know what does the wine bar represent to you guys, to the show's friend group?
A legitimate wine bar,
Yeah.
like a wine bar that we all actually kick it at, like where the creator of the show, Phil Augusta Jackson, and myself, and Echo, and Aaron when he's around, like you know, we've been hanging out there for years and years and years. And then when we started doing the show, Aaron started kicking it there with us too.
So this is the actual wine bar. It's actually
Everyone
everyone can go. So
it's
people
based
can
on
go.
real thing.
Yeah. The show's based off our friend group.
Based off our
Yeah.
friend group, yeah. So, and that's the most cool thing about it.
Right.
Is but it's based off of our real friend group going there and kicking it at this place that we were. It was a place that I'll say when we first went there. I'll tell you the real actual story. Phil had a meeting there, and it was like Saturday night, and we was about to go out, do our Saturday night thing. He was like, "Why don't y'all come meet up here? We get a drink here and then dip out." After that, and so I get there and I'm like, "Yeah, let me get a Jack and Coke." And they're like, "Oh, we don't have that. This is wine and beer." And I was like, "I don't want to drink a beer. I like to eat my calories." And then I was like, "Well, why? What are we doing here? Like, let's go, man. Let's go to a place." And then we ended up kicking it there all night, and we just like had like this little corner to ourselves and had these vulnerable conversations. Just like got into like this vibe, and then it's an easy place to go. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. I'm a going out person. I'd be bored at the house. And this is an easy place to go. And, you know, when the doctor asks you, how many drinks a week you think you have? Well, you know, 1 to 2. 1 to 2 per hour.
That's everybody's answer.
Yeah. But like, it's like, it became like a home base. Like, the people that worked there hooked us up. They will reserve a table for us on busy nights. Like, ownership is cool. Everybody is cool. They hook it up. You know, they give us a little hookup.
So I say Grand Crew and I can get a discount.
No.
They will charge you more.
But basically, like, it just became like a spot where we just were comfortable.
Okay.
And it was out of the ordinary because it is on the side of town where there are not many black people, but we all live over there because of our jobs and things like that. And so we went there and we just kind of got embraced. And people definitely, I'm sure people would look at our group and we, you know, back there being loud and ghetto and stuff, but ain't nobody tripping off of that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And if they are, the people that work there are on our side.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Right.
What's dope is there's a lot more people of color I see coming in and out more than ever before. But like Carl said, like it's really just that home base aspect of it.
So what show did you watch growing up that you hope evokes the same feeling that people will get when they watch Grand Crew? You want to start over here?
I mean, look, I grew up watching Martin, and I just felt like, you know, that was a friend group in many ways as well, you know. But I just had so much fun watching it, you know. And even now, to this day, I'll watch that show if it's on TV, or sometimes I think it's on like Netflix or something. Like I'll literally search for it, you know. So I just hope that, you know, people get as much fun out of our show as I did growing up with Martin.
Shut up!
So that's my mother. Mom! Stop! Oh, God.
For me, I definitely will say Martin too. Like, as far as the energy that it evoked out of me growing up, like I'm like, I want this to be clear. We're not comparing ourselves to that show.
Right.
We don't want people. Like, yeah. We're not saying that. He asked a question about the feeling that it evoked, and it's just like appointment TV. I get people that walk up to me all the time that be like, you know, you and your friend, you know, me and my friends, we got a little crew, and we sit down and drink wine and watch y'all show, and there's no better feeling than people walking up to me saying that. And like, literally, I'm walking in Vegas, half drunk, and this group of like black women on a it's so funny too. They all at bachelorette party. They all got matching T-shirts on, and they go, "Hey, that's him. We love your show. We watch wine, and we drink wine and we watch y'all show, it's like that's the best feeling. Like people that get together with their friends like and watch our show like some old school like growing up watching Martin Living Sing where everybody piled in front of the TV and making an event. That's definitely like watch parties like Insecure. Like how people always talk about they had watch parties for Insecure and stuff. Game of Thrones, and that's the show that I am comparing our show to. Game of Thrones. We are the Game of Thrones after Game of Thrones is off.
Yes.
Yeah. And for you?
I mean, definitely Martin, Fresh Prince, like those are definitely shows that I grew up so heavily influenced by. But even this last episode, it's really made me think about Seinfeld in a way of just like the silliness, the situations they're in. I mean, it's obviously not a show about nothing, but the innocuous nature of it. And for me to even have our show feel even an inch like that, like feels really great because I just love the aspect of just like plugging into these characters wherever they are, whatever situation they get into, and then like seeing how the fun is mined from it. So I hope it evokes some more of those.
I want it to be a show that people unwind to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That show where if somebody's had a hard day, they're like, man, let me go fix me something to eat and take a bath and turn on Grand Crew. Yeah. And now I'm just like chilling. Like, yeah.
So I love also your co-stars as well, especially your sister, Nikki. She is hilarious to me. And I want to know, why is it so important for you guys to root for Black women?
I mean, Black women are the most marginalized group in human history, probably in the world. And I mean, I think we all have very strong, amazing Black women in our lives.
I was just talking to my white mom.
Yeah. What she said?
No,
Karen, what'd she say?
my mother, Karen.
I mean, but that's the thing. Is like we're trying to really just uplift the culture, and not. I mean, we're not trying to put the weight of uplifting the culture on our shoulders, but I think we just want to have fun with these characters and just show that there's appreciation and love out there, and just honor that. And,
Social media, I'm gonna say it, and I said it while the truck was going by, so y'all couldn't hear it. No, social media is like trying to divide us. It feels like, and it's been that divide and conquer thing. We can get into the history of it. We don't have enough time, but the division and conquering of Black men and Black women is like really prominent right now. You see it every comment section, all these videos, all these podcasts. It just Black men hating Black women hating Black men. Like, and I think what our show does at its best is just allows people to check out of the stereotypes and check out of the things that plague us as a community, as a culture, and just like enjoy each other and ourselves and just have a good time and like go back to, because when we get together, it's always a good time. And I really don't like the division that's happening right now. Everybody's mad about something. And social media is really perpetuating that. There's always some sort of clickbait that say, look what this man said about these Black women. Look what these group of women said about this. Like, it's like, man, just stop that shit. Yeah.
I love Black women. I respect Black women immensely. I was raised by a strong black mom. My father was in the household as well. But I just think that it's just important for us to protect each other. Back to what you were saying, and to honor each other. And I think, like you said, our show does a really good job of showing that union amongst Black men and Black women. And I'm just very grateful to be a part of that.
What does your white mom think?
I haven't seen her in years, man.
Oh man. I'm gonna throw this out there. I want to know, who's the funniest person on set?
Carl Tart.
Carl
We always call it Carl Tart's Grand Crew.
Yeah.
No,
We have a good time. We all have a good time.
Carl can read the phone book and make
Yeah,
it
for
funny.
sure.
A phone book was a thing that people used to have. No, but yeah, Carl is effortless. I mean, I've been watching Carl perform for over a decade, and literally every time he's on stage or in anything, he lights it up. He's one of the strongest people. He's seen Stiller. And I literally watch him play and feel so thankful that I'm on a show with him. I'm like, well, we're gonna be successful because Carl's on here and he's freaking killing it. It's so funny. Yeah.
Echo's one of the first people I met in comedy. Like, when I started doing improv, there was two theaters on Hollywood Boulevard, Second City, Hollywood, and IO West, and I like fell in love with it so quickly. I was trying to do it like every single day, and I think like a couple months in, I went down to IO, and it wasn't even old enough. They had a bar, and I wasn't even old enough to get in yet. And I went in and watched the show, and they were like, "Oh, there's a jam. At the jam, you can get up and like you can do improv. And I was way too scared to do it with like these. Echo was one of the people on stage, and he was so cool to me. I was like 20 years old, and it's very early on, maybe 21. Like, and so we've known each other. It's been 13 years.
Yeah.
And, what was I saying?
No, it's all good, bro. I was just gonna say that, like.
And then I was like,
I was gonna say, like, you know, I feel like, you know, drama is what I like most. So when I came into this group and this cast, I was very like insecure about it, you know. But I tested with Carl, so I got to see, and you played it real light too. You weren't really. You were letting me do my thing. I felt like in that.
that was
nice
a
and very
huge
gracious.
amount of pressure on me. 'Cause I didn't want. We had ran into each other at the club the night before.
The night before.
And didn't know each other, but like both looked at each other. Hey,
Like,
tomorrow.
I see.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. But before him, another dude that had tested. Shout out to Sean Brown, amazing actor. I actually wanted him for the role. Like,
You advocated even after.
Are you sure?
No, that was a hell of a amount of pressure on me to be like, now I got to be responsible for how. Like, I don't want to mess them up. And they was like, yeah,
You
yeah,
already
fine.
booked it, right, or something like that.
At that point,
yeah,
I think I
yeah,
had,
yeah.
But like, it was like, this is a lot of, so of course I was like, yeah, do your thing. Like, I'm not finna take over this. Like, it's not my audition.
But with that being said, like, you know, I've gotten a chance to see it firsthand, you know, whether on set or I've come to see him in his improv shows. I have so much respect and reverence for what he does that oftentimes on set, you know, I'll be like, yo, Carl, what do you think about this? Right? Like, or I'll lean on him, like, you know, like, try it this way, try it that way. You know, that's just how funny he is and how much handle of I think, like, you know, comedy in general.
Stop reading the last question. I see you.
Yeah, he's trying to see where we at.
And the last one I have for you guys is I just want to know, what do you want people to learn about black men after watching Grand Crew?
That we're human.
Not a monolith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come in all shapes, sizes, personalities, everything, and it's all valid. And I see some people, you know, complain. They go, "Oh, we don't relate to this," and that's totally fine. But when the reasoning that you don't relate to it is rooted in some false narrative of what you think a black man should be, that's poisonous to all of us. And so, like, that's the part. Just like, hey, man, this may not be your experience. Why don't you try it? Why don't you go to a wine bar?
Or at least,
Yeah.
because that's the aspect that sometimes they question our blackness.
Yeah.
Or the character
Right,
blackness.
right.
It's like, whoa, like, you know.
Yeah. Just because it's not your experience doesn't mean it's not somebody's
Yeah,
experience.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
And that is not a valid black experience.
Right,
Yes,
right.
Exactly. Perfect.
Now, I do wear a Trump hat every episode.
Oh, can we cut now, guys? It's over. Thank you. He's edit that part out, please. My guys, thank you so much. This was amazing. Thank you
Most
for
definitely.
being our turn gentlemen. This is awesome. That's a wrap, guys.
Thank you
Thank
for having us. Yeah.
Woo!
Catch Grand Crew on NBC Friday nights at 8:30, 7:30 Central, and the next day on Peacock.